Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Thank you for tuning into your daily dose of donkey with Ginger. Gingy's back this week, everybody. You don't have to listen to me monologue. I know everybody is sighing a big sigh of relief right now. But anyway, we're also joined by Binky, special guest here, as we're playing a little, what is this, PUBG together. If you hear him, that's why. It's okay. He's allowed to be here. Don't worry, don't
Hello.
freak out. Don't think there's some stalker in my house. I'm okay. But Gingy, welcome back.
Yo, what up? Mutant Gingy back. Hello, everybody. Had a couple weeks off there in May. It's been a busy month, but hey, that's what the off season's for, right? Getting a little bit of that R&R in. We're back now, ready to talk some football. Donkey, what's it been, man? Few
Oh,
weeks
it's been a
now
couple
since I've been
weeks.
here.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
been
I went.
a
I went
there's been a
over.
there's been a draft. There's been some different
Yep.
things that went down. There's been a Tim Tebow sighting, looking
Oh my god, dude!
yoked,
Did you
if I
see
might
him?
add, looking
Holy
yoked,
tits,
very
bro! His
viscous.
biceps
That
bigger
young
than my
man is.
body.
Um,
That dude is
yeah,
stacked.
catching passes down there and from Trevor Lawrence down there in Jacksonville. What do you think about that, donkey?
Everyone says he's a heck of a leader, heck of a guy. Let's see if he can make it out there. I mean, there's no guarantee for him. I mean, he looks the part, but you got to play the part in order to keep a job in the NFL. Yeah, you missed my do the Steelers need to still improve their roster talk, looking over position groups. You missed my overview of the schedule last week. Spoiler alert, 8-1 is what I predicted. If you
Ooh,
want to see the games, you can go check that out. Binky's
ooh.
giving us a little dance. Apparently, he stripped too before he danced. Alrighty then. But Gingy, I didn't really have much going on for this week because it is off season. But I knew you were going to come back, so I was leaving this episode up to where does Gingy want to go? What does Gingy want to talk about? What are the pressing needs over there in Gingy Land?
Well, first of all, if we're talking about recapping skill position needs, there's a few different guys out there that ties into some conversations that I want to have this week. Because what else is there to talk about really in the off season than those trade rumors that start flying around? Skill position of need for me, Donkey. Lockdown cornerback. Who, who
Yeah,
do
I can
who
see
do
that.
we who do I hear chirping on the interwebs? One
If you're
future
gonna
Hall of
say
Famer.
some 34-year-old dude whose best days have been long behind him and his long hair can stay away.
One future Hall of Famer. Richard Sherman. Okay,
Nah,
okay,
that's
Donkey.
where I
Hear
thought
me
you were
out.
going.
Hear me
Why
out.
don't we just go sign Whackman Jones while we're at it?
Hear me. Okay, okay, okay. The fact that you're even putting those two in the same category of DBs is absolutely absurd right now, Donkey. But okay. Richard Sherman brings an attitude to your defense. He brings a certain level of swagger, not nearly on the same effect as Ray Lewis would, but it's the same type of intensity brought. And I still think that he's very comparable, if not better, to Joe Hayden on the other side. So, mm, mm,
Depends on what the
mm.
Steelers want to do. Looking on their corners, they need to play a lot more man coverage, I feel, this year. And no offense to Richard Sherman, but he's never been a good man cover. Corner, he's a great zone corner. So I guess if we keep with the traditional Steeler zone blitz scheme, he could be a fit. I don't like rolling the boat on older guys because we're starting to see the wheels fall off Joe Hayden. If you've seen some of the problems Sherman has, it's getting beat over the top nowadays. I mean, if you're going to sign a veteran to bring in a veteran, why not? If it's a cheap deal, like vet minimum, maybe 2-3 million at most, I could see it. But I just feel like for him to come to Pittsburgh, he would need a little more money than I'm willing to pay.
Hey, it works for all. It works down there in Tampa Bay for them cleaning up vets.
Yeah, bro, that's because everyone wants a ring. And no offense, you're in the generation I grew up with it. Binky loved the team because of the generation that grew up in it. I'm just saying, if you were going to chase a ring, who would you go to? Tom effing Brady. And if you're going to try to chase a ring and not be Tom Brady, you'd probably go to Aaron Rodgers. There's a guy at the hay bales right in front of us, by the way.
Oh my god, what the fuck's going on?
I don't know.
There's a guy at the hay bales in front.
There's a couple
All right,
other
what else
teams.
you got
There's a
for me,
couple other
Gingy?
teams out there, Donkey, that I think are chasing this year. All right, don't sleep on
Yeah,
those Rams. They
yeah
have the
they definitely
defense,
tried to.
and they're taking a shot with
Oh,
with Stafford. You know, They're taking a shot at having that non-golf QB that can finish the job, even though they went out and picked one that hasn't won a
How did
playoff
that not get
game.
him?
But,
Yeah.
you know,
I feel you. I mean, I can see that. That's
but still, there's some tough teams out there this year. Niners
there
are looking
is.
to put together a squad. Cardinals are looking to put together a squad out there. That whole NFC, what is that? NFC West?
yeah, but we don't have to worry too much about that. I mean, I don't know. I was reading some articles, and I feel this way is true. The Steelers seem to be stuck between going for it one more time and rebuilding.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, hell, the thing we need the most help on is offensive line, and Russell Okung seems like he'd be the perfect guy to fit it. And what does he say as soon as he hears, oh, you're linked to the Steelers? Psh, bro, they can't afford me. Is that where we are? Is that where we are?
It seems like it this year. Cash strapped this year. Looking ahead to next year, maybe, but who's going to want Okung next year anyway?
I don't know. I would take him right now just as a backup plan to our youthful experiment, where our backup plan is either a rookie who please no, and or Haig, whose most famous moment is dropping a touchdown in the Super Bowl or in the NFC Championship game. I don't remember, whatever he did last year for Tampa. But before we got on, you had another interesting name that we could have a nice little talk about. You want to bring into that one?
Yeah, right now, seeing reports that Julio Jones is dissatisfied in Atlanta. There's a little bit of scandal there. Didn't he do an interview with old Shannon Sharp where he wasn't quite aware that he was being recorded at the time?
Yeah, I don't know that whole deal. You know, that people like to play it off like that. But yeah, Shannon Sharp definitely called him on whatever show he has, and he said, "Oh, Atlanta, yeah, I'm out of there, bro." Something along those lines. Like, yeah, he's done. But at the end of the day, I mean, he is a great player. He is 33. He is injured. So what are you looking at for him?
Reports are saying, man, that he goes for a second or third rounder. Okay, and if he's legitimately going for a second or third rounder, donkey, sign me up for that all day.
I take it too. Just there's the bigger problem is the Steelers can't afford him. Like, literally can't afford him. I guess you could say, well, we can move more money into next year, but now, honestly, if he's still a 1A, it makes sense because let's be honest, this team doesn't have a one receiver. It has a bunch of good to mid-tier twos.
I'm not saying he's the best fit for the Steelers roster right now. We need another. We need Deontay Johnson to catch the ball, period. Okay, we don't need any more receivers. We just need the ones we got to perform to expectation, and we'll be fine. But I'm saying, if I'm another team on the market, if I'm I don't know, the Indianapolis Colts, per se, need a solid number 2 go down to TY down there, I'm dishing a second rounder in Indy right now for a run at it.
I think you're missing the team that I think is the most obvious fit for this.
Lay it on me.
They have a disgruntled quarterback who is considering not playing this year, who a lot of people like to try to argue is the GOAT. And he's mad because he doesn't get any tools to play with. If you're this team, can you mortgage a first round next year or a second round next year? Because you know your first round is not going to be that valuable because you are the Green Bay Packers and you do have Aaron Rodgers. And you don't think adding Julio Jones would make Aaron Rodgers a little happy?
You think you're seeing a Julio Lambo leap sometime in the future here, Donkey?
I think I'm going to see another Green Bay heartbreak, but that's just because I have no faith in that team to come up clutch right now. And it's really not even necessarily against them as much as it is. I think they're going to play in one of the harder divisions in the NFC this year. And I'm going to be honest, I still don't see how you beat that Buccaneers team. Like, did you watch them at the end of last year? Unless someone gets hurt, they're bringing back that same effing team that just no one could play with in the NFC.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? It's gonna be up to one of these youthful exuberants to beat the to beat the aged wisdom of Tom Brady. If you're looking at the AFC, obviously it's Kansas City and Buffalo in that upper echelon. And I think on any given Sunday, Donkey, football's the type of game with enough parity. It's never a lock, man. It's never a lock.
No, but you know what good teams are going to be there at the end. I mean, when you looked at the AFC, if you watched at the end of the year, you're like Buffalo, KC are the best teams. If you watched the NFC, you knew it was Green Bay, Tampa Bay, New Orleans. Like, I agree with you that a lot of those mid-tier teams can give each other problems. The bigger problem is it does seem to be a difference between the mid-tier teams and the top teams. Like, the Steelers are firmly cemented in a mid-tier team. That means we would have to have a lot of things go right to compete with those top-tier teams. Like a lot of injuries, a lot of bounces, things like that, because those teams just perform. But that is what it is. More importantly, what is the trade value of a Julio Jones right now? I mean, you're talking to 32, 33-year-old who, when he was on the field, definitely performed in an Atlanta offense that's built to have receivers perform. But leg injuries can be terrible and just derail a guy, especially in their 30s, right away. I mean, look what happened to A.J. Green. Still hasn't fully come back. Is Julio a type of locker room present that you can take a chance on giving up a first, second rounder for a guy who maybe isn't as productive as he was in the past? Or should you just be like, hey, it's worth the risk no matter what, because if he is what he was in the past, he's top 5 receiver in the NFL? Top 10 receiver in the NFL maybe nowadays?
Most yards in his first 10 years besides Jerry Rice.
True.
Yeah, that type of receiver, legendary. You know, it's really about those leg injuries that you're talking about, though. And if you're, really being that GM, you gotta have some insight into that before you start bargaining away your future, obviously. And you were talking about a first rounder, Donkey. I'm a little bit more skeptical on the first rounder.
Well, you have to think, if you're a team like Green Bay, they're not going to value your second rounder because they're like, dude, your second rounder might as well be a third rounder. Your first rounder might as well be a second rounder, right? Because if you're going to stack up a team that's already a championship caliber team, you're not going to trade Julio Jones when you expect to get back the 58th overall pick. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Atlanta's not a bad enough team to give up an asset like that for a 50-plus pick. You trade him to a team that thinks that they're a Julio Jones away, but they really aren't. Right? Like maybe a Detroit, someone like that if you're going to do a second rounder. Otherwise, I think you have to be getting a first rounder because otherwise there's no value in it. Why would you trade him away when you still have Matt Ryan? Right? It doesn't make sense to trade him away if you're going to keep Matt Ryan. If you're going to trade Julio Jones to a team like Green Bay for a second, you might as well trade Matt Ryan the next day. And I'm sure Denver would love that.
Yeah, I bet Denver would. Yeah, I don't know, Donkey. He is he's an aging wide receiver, but he might be one of those Larry Fitz type of guys that, if he is the locker room presence, then he can contribute quite strongly to any squad that would go for him.
That'd be a great pickup, but the other part of here is he just would be making too much money to be just a great locker room, sure hand, maybe touch 1,000 yards type of receiver. That's a little bit too much money for that. The good teams normally don't get to be good teams by overpaying for luxury players. And let's be honest, most receivers are luxury players. It's nothing against them, but like the positions you can just easily replace are 1,000-yard receivers. I'm not talking top tier. I'm not talking DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs. I'm talking the just hits 1,000-yard receivers, easy to replace. Starting running backs, easy to replace. It's just for whatever reason, those two positions just easily replaced. And that's, to me, is what makes Julio Jones a weird case is. What Julio Jones are you getting? Because how much he's getting paid determines how much you should give up based on what you think you're getting. And I don't know Julio Jones enough to tell you anything about it other than the dude is a freaky athlete. The dude had great numbers. The dude has skill. Nothing going to deny any of that.
Well, we'll see where this off-season trade carousel lands him, Donkey. Could be interesting.
If anywhere. I got it. What we're gonna see happen? Just thought it through. Aaron Rodgers goes to Atlanta for Julio Jones and Matt Ryan and a first round pick.
Oh, Donkey, I was dreaming the other day about these three-way picks, man. Okay, I was dreaming. I see Green Bay, Miami Dolphins, and the Pittsburgh Steelers involved in a three-way trade in my mind. Okay,
Tua.
Aaron Rodgers to Miami. Tua.
Oh wait, you really are gonna give us Tua? Yes.
And a conditional second rounder to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers give up Deontay Johnson, a second and a third rounder to Green Bay.
I am down with anything that lands me Tua. I know a lot of people hate on him, but I personally am still a fan of Tua. He came back earlier than expected, and he performed a lot better than I expected. Because if you remember, I was saying, the hell is Miami doing benching Fitzmagic? And then Tua played pretty good, and I was like, oh, I just look like a freaking idiot now, don't I?
It's really funny that you started chanting Tua and my fantasy trade actually involved Tua.
You said Miami, and that was my only thought. I was like, you better be giving us Tua and not sending him to the fucking Packers.
No, we're not sending him to the Packers. We're sending Packers. We're sending the Packers another weapon for love.
We really get to see how sold the Packers are on that guy, don't we?
That's what we're looking at.
Are they going to hardball Aaron Rodgers because they have this guy? And then people are like, well, they wouldn't be that dumb. They did it with Brett Favre and it worked out. So
listen, the Packers are a unit a lot like the Steelers. Well, used to be in terms of that cutthroat nature. You
move on to the young guy when it's time.
Yep, and they will, and they don't think that anybody there is super special.
Even if they have maybe the best... I was just saying maybe the best arm talent I've ever seen, but I'm not going to lie, dude. Patty Mahomes is by far the best arm talent I've ever seen.
Aaron Rodgers for longevity, though. Come on. He's...
Yeah, definitely has a better career than Patty Mahomes right now.
Yeah.
But arm talent, dude... Patty Mahomes sidearmed a ball going backwards 60 feet off his back foot. Bro, no.
He did, too,
Like,
though.
how'd you even do that? Aaron Rodgers is the god of Hail Marys. Like, you can even ask my wife, who doesn't watch football, who has the best Hail Mary, and she'll tell you Aaron Rodgers, because the dude made a deal with Jesus or some shit. I don't freaking know.
He does drop bombs like that.
Jeez Louise.
He does drop bombs like that, but... Sorry, I got us a little sidetracked with my...
Oh, I like that.
with my
now I'm just
fantasy
going to be dreaming about Tua and black and gold. Tua seems like a black and gold type. It ain't going to happen. I'm just going to be sad.
Oh.
I'll just settle for... I have to settle for Mason Rudolph, who I've been defending so long. I get Mason Rudolph and Dewey Haskins.
I was going to say, we could start building an archetype around Tua and Dewey. Man, 1 and 2.
Gotta teach one of them how to throw on pads and be a fullback so we can bring back the trick play Steelers. Have like 8 quarterbacks on our roster, but only one of them actually plays quarterback.
Slash 2.0. Let's go.
Oh, which one's more athletic? Tua? Oh, someone's angry at me over here. Shooting right at my bum.
I don't know. That's a good question. But, yeah, I don't know. Not too much else on my radar on the NFL really this week.
Yeah, me neither. So no other talks going on, Gingy? Nothing?
Oh, I don't know. What? Looking ahead at the Steelers season, I heard you. What did you mention? 8-1.
8-1. We tied the Bungles. I had to figure out where the tie was coming.
The tie, the Bungles? Really?
The Bungles. Yeah.
Why? Where
we had to tie someone. Would you rather it have been the Lions? Because that was my other thought, but I thought way too many Steelers fans would be like, the Lions in overtime? No!
All right. The Steelers' schedule is the most difficult in the NFL next season. True story, Donkey. True story. The schedule really doesn't heat up too badly. too badly.
To week 1.
No, Week 1, Buffalo is hard. Yes, okay. There's going to be some intermittent games throughout there. It cozies down in November. Bears, Lions,
the
Chargers,
November,
Bengals.
December, January run is rough.
Okay,
that's where
but
I have a big
from
losing
December
streak
5th going here's what really stuck out for me. From December 5th going forward, Donkey. Okay. Ravens on the 5th.
Really.
4 days rest. The Vikings. The following weekend.
Kirk Cousins just seems like the perfect quarterback to lose to the Steelers.
Okay. He might, but on 4 days rest after the Ravens, that team is whooped, Donkey. That team is beat.
I hear you. I hear you. I didn't even
the weekend
look at the
after
actual
that,
dates. I just went week to week. So
The Titans, then the Chiefs, then the Browns, then the Ravens again. That is going to be a bad stretch from December 5th to January 9th. It's going to be very stressful,
I
Donkey.
hear you. Is it weird to say the Browns now and actually like be a little worried?
I mean,
Like to not feel like the Browns actually have, I don't know,
Donkey,
maybe not every position, but for the most part seem to have positional advantage on the Steelers. To me, it's just like I don't even know how to feel. I feel
this
awkward.
was really, I mean, for somebody who understands basic mathematics, this was really inevitable. How many number 1 overall and first round picks can you give a team before they finally become good? 20 years
12
worth?
years. 12
When you
years.
give them 20 years worth of 1 overalls and first round picks, for God's sakes, they're eventually going to become good, Donkey. It's just the nature of the beast.
You say that but seriously, it should happen in less than 5. Come on, at some point you just have to think a team is cursed.
I do. I know they are. I've seen it my whole life. I know, Donkey. It's been this way since frickin' Tim Couch. Oh, good heavens, Donkey. How many first rounders can you blow? 3 before we got here. Like you said, it took
A lot.
15 years of solid losing. Not only that, but an ofer. In there. Donkey. You know, it was bound to happen. And now, Donkey, now what you see is you're lining up against Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh, and I was gonna say, don't forget they added a number 1 overall pick for free agency too.
Now you're lining
Let's
up
not
against
forget that.
2 bangers twice this year. Yeah, I know.
That's true.
I know.
Oh,
It's-
shit. Well, I think it's that time, Ginger. You got shout outs this week?
I do, Donkey. I got a shout out this week. Shout out, Donkey, to my boy Cam Hayward, coming to the defense of his quarterback, telling everybody it's overblown, telling everybody who else started 11-0 last year. Let's go Steelers.
Who else turned the ball over 3 times in their first half of a fucking playoff game against the fucking Cleveland Browns? Are you fucking shitting me?
Tell him, Donkey. Tell him to his face. He'd probably,
I will tell it to his face, and then I'll sue his ass after he punches me, because I'll fucking wake up 2 days later in the hospital.
I was gonna say he'd take one whiff of your breath, and he'd give you a tombstone pile driver that you would never forget, Donkey.
Or he'd kick you in the head, one of the two.
There you go, Chuck Norris style. Thank you.
I do like your shout out, but I am still fucking no.
But I am shouting out my boy Cam Hayward. Let's go. Ride or die, whether you like it or not. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger under center. Shooters shoot. Let's go Steelers. Who do you got, Donkey, on your shout out?
My shout out is going to the football of the European style and Chelsea, winning the Champions League today. And Christian Pulisic becoming the first American to appear in the Champions League. And at that, he got to win it. There's a guy behind me, too. Where the heck did he knock me from? I don't even see the guy.
I clap.
Me.
I clap for that, Donkey.
Almost became the first American to ever score a goal, but he kind of whiffed on a very scoreable situation. But either way,
he's a really good player though, Donkey. You're talking about Pusilik.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's really good.
that had to be my shout out because 1, Chelsea fan. 2, go USA. 3, yeah. That's all I have to say. Anyway, that does it for us this week. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks, Gingy, for coming back. Thanks, Binky, for the special assistant. Thanks for dying trying to save me there. I still don't know how that dude whacked me that far with the 4X Bison. I'm going to watch him for a second because he seems a little sketch. But anyway, you can hit us up on the socials, Viking_Donkey on Twitch and Twitter, Viking Donkey on Xbox Live, Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger is the YouTube page. Feel free to come by, drop us a comment, tell us what you think. Tell us if you have anything you want us to talk about, because it is the off season. Things get boring. If you have things you want us to talk about, it'd be awesome to talk about them, especially if they're things that throw us through a weird loop. But anyway, Ginger will tell you where you can reach him.
Mutant Gingy, Xbox Live, we gaming all day, all night. Let's go. Steelers Nation, once again. Wave 'em if you got 'em. Here we go, Steelers.